Welcome to Popcorn Planet. I am Andy Signore, and I'm here with Good Logic. Good to have you here, sir.
Thank you for having me, Andy.
If you're unfamiliar with Good Logic, well, he's a popular YouTube channel. He's doing a lot of good work, and he's covering the Maxi trial. We can't even say the name because he's suppressed on YouTube. And I thought he'd be a good person to bring on here because, Joe, I've been having some trouble, and I know other creators out there, you guys are having trouble with this platform, and I want to call it out, and I want our viewers to understand the struggles we're going through as creators because they're not letting us report the news, and they're slanting how we cover the news by literally blacklisting names of people that we can't even mention. Now, Joe, I imagine you've been going through this, but I want the first sort of example of this I want to share is the fact that I can't say the words Johnny Depp in my title. If I literally say the words Johnny Depp in my title, I have proven that it's just that name. Now, I could literally talk about anything regarding him. It doesn't matter. I proved this because about last year I loaded a video where there was no audio. I accidentally had my mic turned off. And so I uploaded the video with the Johnny Depp title, and it still got the yellow sign of death. Even though literally had said nothing in the video, and I caught them. And so I was like, well, there's nothing in this aside from little Johnny Depp and the Justice for Johnny Depp campaign, and I can't say AH, she's definitely protected. But it's just insane as we as news organizations, which we are, we're reporters, we're journalists, we're reporting our take, just like the news is. Sometimes, I would say more often than not, we're more researched than they are because they're often just reading prompters and things, throwing it out there. And we're actually going deep into some of these cases, and this platform will not let us report. Honestly, we have to tiptoe over certain words if we want full views. Otherwise, we're suppressed just because their algorithm has deemed us problematic without any actual rhyme or reason. These review processes that we as creators are stuck under are so frustrating because literally I was opening up my channel just so you guys even see what I'm talking about. Because I just want you guys to be aware there's a lot of good channels like Joe, like mine. I know Sloan, who does a lot of Britney coverage. We're all going through this issue right now, and I'll show you a couple as I'm uploading some. I'm currently uploading a video that I did with Joe that I'm still waiting to see, will it get approved? And I'll tell you while we're on this live. But literally, I did a whole video about this body cam footage, about this the Valentina, this girl in Burlington coat. Nothing I did in this video is problematic. Got the stamp of death. Days ago, I did a video about Alec Baldwin on his Instagram. Didn't even mention anything against guidelines. Yellow, sign of death. When they give us this yellow limited, it's not even about monetization. It's about they don't share it as widely. You don't get it reached because YouTube doesn't want to promote videos that they can't throw their ads on. And so it's become this real problematic problem where every live show, it takes sometimes now 5-6 days for things to get approved in these review processes because they have literally a human reviewer who sits in a room, has hundreds of videos to go through a day, gets sent a 10-second clip that their algorithm has deemed problematic without any context, sometimes without even full grasping of the English language. These people sit there and decide our livelihood. And then what happens is one single person decides, this seems wrong. I don't even know, but I'm just going to say it's wrong. And then we are, like, the channel is then struck with like, okay, this channel is problematic because a reviewer in the algorithm deemed it so. And sometimes those reviewers are wrong. And so then we get multiple views just automatically limited. And then what I've been told behind the scenes is because of that, Joe, we're now stamped as a problematic channel. And then more of our videos are going to be looked at with a harsher light. More of our videos are going to take longer to get processed. And we, without doing anything wrong as creators, are just sitting there waiting for their stamp of approval. And this can affect channels so greatly because they're reacting quickly to important stories. You're literally there every day. Can you attest, like, do all of your videos get stamped the yellow sign of death, even when you say nothing against the guidelines?
Everything I say gets every single video. I could be talking a video about traffic lights, and a minute into my video, my video goes yellow. I do plenty of live streaming. I've even when I go, it's a joke that I collaborate with many other attorneys or other people online, and that my face literally will turn a stream that was green if I join in the middle. I'm not kidding. It happens 30 seconds after I get on there. All of a sudden, we're in the yellow. It's an astonishing thing. The first time I dealt with this, where I got a warning and I got a strike, was when I was talking about a certain illness that many of you have heard of, and I was talking about laws regarding that illness, and I was like, whatever treatment's fine. Laws are where I have an issue. I was clearly more expressive about that. But I wasn't even talking about what proper what proper treatment was. I was simply talking about the concept of laws, and that got me a warning. And then when I was talking, and I stopped talking about it. And 2.5 months later, when I had another conversation about it, I got a strike. And when I asked to have it reviewed, no, they called it C, misinformation. You can figure out what the C is in that context. So, and I was like, I'm not even talking about the illness itself, but apparently they want to ding anything like that misinformation. And it's similar here with the Maxi case. As people are terrified to use the word, the actual name of this woman or the person that she was supporting for years and had a relationship with for years. If you use these names, all of a sudden you are blacklisted. I can give you 4 different ways I've been blacklisted, aside from being yellow. When I go on Nick Recada's channel, a lot of people know him. He was huge, especially during the Rittenhouse trial. He was the go-to place. We had a whole law panel, including myself, where we all were covering that case. And so when he would just reference me, when he was covering the Kim Potter trial, so he would put in the description different links, and he would try linking to me, and the video would literally swap out. And it would basically, because when you put the descriptions, you can make a clickable link to another YouTube channel. So if you put in your heading here, or you put in your description here, Andy, a reference to me, what he found was, like, he would hit enter, and then when it would save, and then the link would be gone. It's like, on anyone else, the link would work. He put in other people, the link would work. But I am so shadow banned that it's difficult for people. He had to do it 7 times before they would click to my channel. People tell me that they subscribe to me, and a day later, they're unsubscribed to me and suddenly subscribe to the Young Turks. I'm not even, you think I'm making this thing up. It's crazy. They're like, how did I get subscribed to the Young Turks? They're like laughing about it. Every day between 4 and 7, I lose between 100 and 300 subs. And my channel's been growing somewhat because of this trial. Over the last month, I went from 22,000 subs to over 40,000. And every day between 4 and 7 p.m., I lose between 100 and 300 subs. It's like all of a sudden there's just 100 or 300 different people which wake up and say, I don't want to follow him anymore, at least according to YouTube. And I joke about it. I call it YouTube's tithing. It's like thank God I'm having such great growth that they feel like, okay, you know what? You need to give some charity back. Give back some of those subs who came to follow you. And what I think you nailed it, Andy. They just want to suppress stories. They don't want stories out there. They don't want certain content out there. And they will take whatever steps they can to make sure that they'll trick their own algorithms. Meaning, what did you just describe? Think about what you just said. You said, well, once it's yellow, they're not going to share it. But they specifically will trick their own algorithms, say, this guy, we're going to make him yellow, and that way it won't get shared by our algorithms. We'll keep it out. So they'll trick their own algorithms to make sure their algorithms are not being used to promote content that they are uncomfortable with. And it's completely factual-based content. I'm not trying to. It's not like I'm sitting here promoting alt-right. I'm very much about unity of all people. I don't care what your race, your gender, your orientation.
But I don't even mean to interrupt, but it doesn't matter. You have a set of guidelines that you tell us as creators, YouTube, and then you don't follow them. And that's what annoys me so much. I don't even want to get it politicized because I don't care what your views are as long as it's not hateful, and going against the guidelines, which are clear guidelines, right, Joe? It's like, it's very clear you can't be hateful. You can't do that. Okay, I'm following your guidelines. But then you still censor and suppress us without any rhyme or reason. And where things are getting more egregious is like, I used to be able to play the game, right? I used to be like, all right, fine. I know I'm going to do a Maxwell case, but I'll have to wait a day for it to go public. Like usually the review process would at least take a day. And I'd know, all right, well, I can bank on this one tomorrow morning. I'm a day late. Fine, it sucks, but I'm dealing with it, right? Now it takes 5 to 7 days for my videos to get approved by review. Right. That is insane for a news channel. And they are taking over 30% of our revenue as a platform, and they can't hire more people to go click the stupid boxes? Like, how much money are they making on all of us? And they can't even hire a few more people and to pay them so we can get our views up so we can all get content. It makes no sense. It's so, and the mental health that this problem it creates to all of our creators. It's like, I'm constantly just so stressed and struggling day to day because I'm like, I just want to report the news. I want to get the stuff out there. But then I'm like working my butt off to get a case up, and I do my whole morning. I spend my whole day working. I post it, and the algorithm gods are like, sorry, dude. Nope, not going to get you this one. And we're not going to tell you when. It could be 7 days. They give you like a chat you can talk to if you're a supporter. You get a certain level, so you can go into their creator chat, and I'll be like, and I'll go through the whole thing. I'm like, this doesn't go against the guidelines. Is there any way to get this checked out? And they're like, literally have admitted to me, yeah, you just got to wait 7 days. And I'm like, but I'm a news organization. Like, I'm a news channel. 7 days later is irrelevant. I can't wait 7 days. Like, what am I supposed to do? There's
7
no
days.
Solution. There's no solution.
7 days in our industry is that's like 7 years. That's like all of a sudden, you may as well be talking about like, oh, a new movie came out called Django Unchained. Like today, like imagine how old people look at that. Like, I don't care about this. Why are you telling me this today? And if you come out a week from now giving news of that came out today, everyone's heard the story a dozen different ways, framed by the entities that YouTube prefers, the entities that they want the public to be watching, and by the time you're coming out there, no one's checking your story anymore. You're totally right. It's like they're basically crushing your livelihood. They're crushing your ability to actually share genuine information. And it's mostly about the source. If you said the same words as Brian Stelter, you could literally say the exact same words as Brian Stelter and beat him to the punch. If you got his script and beat him to the punch and put it out there 10 minutes before him, if this happened to me, if I literally read his script out loud, it would basically go yellow. And if I tried to get it approved and have green first, I'll have to wait a week for it to go for it to get approved, because they don't want people they don't want people watching people like you and me. They don't want the public viewing us. And that's really what it's all about. It's about suppressing those of us who are basically rising up, and we're really ripping legacy media down. That's really what they're afraid of. I think they support legacy media, and they see that independent content creators who are not governed by an agenda, but they're just trying to share news, and that's something that they feel threatened by, and they align themselves with legacy media. And that if you and I start gaining popularity, if Nick Rekieta has 130,000 people watching his online content, while CNN has 4,000 people watching it, that is destroying legacy media. And I think YouTube is certainly in bed with these entities. They want them to stay strong.
Right. Well, it's easier to sell advertisements on ABC, NBC, Saturday Night Live, Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert. These are the people that they're rewarding on YouTube because they don't care about us creators. And that was what YouTube was built for all of us to have a place and a venue. But now they got all the studios, all the channels, all the celebrities to port over their content because that's what advertisers want to buy. And the hypocrisy shows no bounds because like I look at like the guidelines and things like Cardi B and WAP, advertisers will buy in droves without no issues, no problem whatsoever. And like that's a video. I'm like, I don't want my kids to accidentally stumble upon that. But yet I can't talk about literal case trials that they can flip on the news and find like that without any rhyme or reason. But the advertisers are more afraid of us than that. Makes no sense. There's literally no sense to their thing. And I wanted to show this too because congrats to really sum up this video. The video we just shot is limited. Now, guys, I just want to reiterate, like, I can't stand the fact that I've spent my entire morning and afternoon making 3 videos. The one I didn't even get to post it because I knew it wasn't going to make it there. I was like, fine, I'll do this one. I've now made 3 videos today, and I can't post any of them to you because YouTube won't let me. Because if I post this, I make no revenue, which is how I make a living, and not beyond that, it won't even get shared to you. It'll just be a complete like blip in the dust bowl of like, well, why did I waste my time? So now I got to sit on these videos and hope in the course of maybe tomorrow I'll get lucky. Maybe they'll finally get there. But I got already 4 videos in the pipeline that they still haven't even got to over, how long ago was this? On December 27th. So this was 2 days ago. So it was actually the morning of that. So yeah, it's like, it's insanity. It's insanity. So what can we do? What can you... Look, I don't know what we're going to do. Joe, you must have killed me on that channel. This video is probably also going to get limited for all I know.
I'm sorry.
It's all your fault. No, go support Joe. Go subscribe to Joe. Support here. But also, every creator, they have link trees. They have other ways you can donate. That's why we ask. I'm going to... I want to shatter this stigma of creators and professionals out there who are asking for your help because we need it. We can't keep going on with these platforms without your support. So most creators have have PayPal's, Cash Apps, Linktrees, Super Chats, ways you can support. And if you're sitting there watching channels for hours on end, can you throw a couple bucks in the jar at the end at some point each week? It's just, we got to start making that the norm, because these channels aren't going to do it. I want to share one last thing before we wrap this up. T-Pain shared this out. For music, here's how streaming, how many streams they require to make $1. Look at this. It's pretty crazy. Napster suddenly somehow is the best. But look at YouTube. 1,250 streams before T-Pain makes a single dollar. They're taking all that money. Meanwhile, Spotify, 300 streams. I mean, it's still a lot. But look at this comparison. You compare how much price gouging YouTube does to all of us creators, even the top. And yet all of the mainstream studios and networks are all just like, bending over to be like, yes, please, let's put Saturday Night Live on YouTube now, because we know no one else is going to watch it any other reason. Like, they got to watch it digitally or they're not going to be able to find it. We are so stuck up upon this, the god of Google. And at a certain point, creators big and tall, we all have to unite. We have to stop this. It's not fair. Their algorithm doesn't work. It's broken. They constantly try to like, oh, it's all good. We're going to fix it. We're going to make sure it's so easy, and they just won't put the energy or time into it. And it's really crushing us creators. I'm telling you, I cannot express my frustration and all the work I'm putting in for you guys, and I can't even share you the content. It's beyond
I want to point out, collaborations like this are the best resource we have for striking back at YouTube. Because I think the public loves seeing someone that they see in one context working with someone that they see in another context. I think this is how we strengthen each other. Some people might look at it like you and I are competitors. I don't think of it that way at all. I don't even think of other people who are attorneys who are covering the same stories I am. I don't look at them as competitors. We work together because we understand that we are all fighting a kind of common enemy, which is really YouTube. It's really our own employer, because we are working for YouTube. That's what we're doing, and we're just being treated like dirt. And so we're sort of almost forming almost like a little labor union here, where it's like we're all start collaborating and working with each other. I think that does help our popularity to try and come back about it. But I cannot agree with you more. Do whatever you can to support Andy, support your local independent content creator, because unless you want us to disappear, which I know you don't. I know you guys are watching us because you're enjoying us. And look, many of you can't. Many of you cannot afford it. And those of you who really can't afford it, I know I don't begrudge you. I'm sure Andy doesn't begrudge you that either. But those of you who, would, instead of going to movies or instead of renting Netflix, you're going to hang out and, or renting a movie on Amazon Prime, you're going to end up hanging out for a couple hours watching our videos. So, and if you could afford it, it's fitting to say, you know what, I'm going to help encourage them to keep moving along. And a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there, it adds up really quickly. Because thank God, we have a lot of people who enjoy our content.
Thank God. I mean, without my creators, without the fans, we would be screwed. And I've seen more success by finally stepping out there, because there's a stigma. Oh, look at them begging for money. It's like, we're doing a job. This is to keep the lights on, all the stuff we do, the research, the time. This is a job for us. And you're a lawyer. You're doing this. You're out there every day following this case. And so support the creators you're watching. Don't forget to support them. We're going to keep going. I'm not new year. I have some new plans. We're going to try and just truck on forward, as we say here. Keep going always is the mantra here. In fact, you can keep going by, like I said, visiting the link tree. I'll put it in there. But you can buy the merch. You can buy our Keep Going shirts, all that stuff over on the channel. There's lots of ways you can support your creators, so make sure you go do. And go support Good Logic. I'm sure just by saying that right now, I just screwed myself, Joe. So thank you. But go Google them, because I couldn't agree more. I can't stand when we all compete. We can't compete. We have to support.
To other channels. I'm spreading typhoid to other channels. I am Typhoid Mary. I'm Typhoid Joe. That's what I am.
Potentially, you might be, but whatever. I guess I'm going to get it too, because I like supporting creators who are doing good work and unafraid of the system like this. So keep doing what you're doing. Thank you for coming on this. Thank you guys for watching. Again, if you haven't already, why don't you hit the join? That's even better than the subscribe. Then you become a member. You're empowered by this. I want to hear your thoughts down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Click on these videos. I have no idea when I'm posting any of these videos. So if you've been seeing videos that seem like it's old news, now you know why. You're feeling my pain.